Hi everyone, welcome. We're going to wait a couple of minutes more and then we're going to start. Thank you for joining.
I can stay for the first half an hour that I have another webinar. I'm actually supposed to be there at noon
okay.
today. Sorry.
Actually, we block 1 hour just in case we have more questions, but during the last webinar, it took 30 minutes. It's a new format for us, so we are still like evaluating how it goes, but normally it takes 30 minutes, including questions and anything that you might want to deep dive. Thank you so much. So, I see people connecting still. Oh, I see. So there was some confusion about the starting time of the webinar. Okay. Sorry for that. I think I will need to double check with the person who sent the invitation. Annette, I'm just reading your message. So yes, it was meant to be actually, yes, 6 p.m. CET time. We're connecting from Europe, so that's probably why there was this confusion. Thank you for sharing the feedback. And so we're ready to start. And first of all, thank you all for joining. I'm Dolores, even if the name that you see under the screen is Camillo Romani. She's actually the founder of Eatwith and shared the access with me. Today we're going to spend, so I was just mentioning, normally it will take less than 1 hour. It really depends on the question and your participation and how many people will join more. What we're going to actually, I'm going to walk you through Eatwith in general for those of you who don't know our concept. And then we're going also to discover a little bit more about the end of the year events that you can actually promote to your travelers. And of course, there will be time for a question that we're going to ask. Actually, we are going to reply in the chat. But of course, if there are any questions that are not answered, then I can get back to you with actually an email, or we can even have actually one-to-one conversation if you have any particular request, even for your customer, or if you need any specific arrangement. So I'll start. I see everyone is on mute. Thank you so much for that. We are used now all to webinar in general. I'm going to start to share the presentation that we prepared for you today. And I think it's really important that we start with what Eatwith is in general and why we do consider that as something that is a highly transformative experience for our customers and for travelers in general. We see that everything that is social and travel brings something very special to every one of us, and I think that you are very well placed to know that because this is really our job actually. So first of all, I'm going to introduce myself. I'm Dolores Avantajat, and I'm the Global Operations Support Manager at Eatwith. Victoria is part of my team. She's not here today, and but she normally replies to all the requests of travel agents. So we're really dedicated to you, and we are the operational team that takes care of the reservation. In today's call, Esther was meant to be there as well. She is the head of partnership in general. So maybe if you're part of the group, she was the one signing the contract. But in general, as we are a startup, we are really all well aware of our products, and we are very operational in general. So you might receive a reply from me or from Esther or from Victoria. We're really working together, especially on everything that is related to travel agents and to our partnership in general. So after the presentations are done, and thank you again for joining, I would like to tell you a little bit more of what we do. So what can we say? What we believe in is that the table is the original social network for every one of us. We lost a little bit track of this during the pandemic, and we're maybe furthermore into everything that is social network. But now that there are a little bit of reopening in general in the world, it's even more important to reconnect again around the origin of meeting people, which was the table. We do offer unique culinary experiences, and this really creates a way for people to meet each other, but also to immerse themselves in local cultures. It's not a new concept, but what is new is the way we are proposing it and the kind of product that we want to promote to customers locally, and also to customers who are traveling, which is more your target. What does this mean? So I can share a little video. This is one of our experiences in London. It's one of our favorite hosts. His name is Pratap, and he actually creates an experience for our website that is called the Feast of Maharaja. So you are in the heart of London and you're experiencing some Indian culture cooking, but prepared by chef in his home. So I'm just going to share with you this quick video because this leaves more inside. So just to see something, because that's always more powerful than just imagining it. What's the difference here is that you really get to know not only the place, or you're not in a restaurant, that's for sure, and you really get to know the host, and that will make the difference of your experience. You are entering his place in this case, and you're meeting other people there. And this brings something to travelers and also to local customers in general that is quite different from other experiences. So I see a message. Okay, sorry. So for those, if you couldn't hear the video, it was only music in any case. So it was just a little bit of music that was background sound for the video. So you didn't miss anything in this case. And I'm going to share the presentation in any case with you. So why is this so important? Why do we do this? And also let's go to something that is more, I would say, sorry, important to know. Why this kind of experience can make the difference in tourism, for example. Because it's local and it's immersive, actually. You are really, you need to be there when you do this kind of experiences. And that's for sure something absolutely authentic. And what we are actually sharing again and again with travel agents and with tourism operator is that the relationship of people with food is so important that food has become the first, like #1 travel motivator for people to go, like when they are traveling. And why it is so important? Because actually, people are the demand of people is growing in terms of interaction when they are traveling, and interaction around food in general. This allow people to explore new culture and to feel like if they are local and fully immersed in what they are doing when they are joining someone else's home and entering their space. And also there is a great focus in general on everything that is culinary tourism, and a strong focus on regions that have a strong culinary tradition. And tour operators also in general are organizing packages that are including, for example, everything that is related to the gastronomic tourism with ecotourism, wellness and cultural tourism, so that they attract more travelers. In general, this represents then a high opportunity to actually increase also your sales in everything that is related to the organization of a of a trip package. And here we go. So that's really what we want to share with you today. It's really food and restaurants became the first travel motivator, and we expect to have 234 billion by 2023 that will be really connected to culinary tourism for that year. So big numbers here, and we can definitely like what we can say is that we're expecting this to change also with the pandemic. But what we discovered is that people are still going to eat out, and what has changed is that they are even actually there to spend more on food when they are deciding to go out to eat. So for sure, our product is very well placed because it's not only delivering a culinary experience, but also a cultural experience, which is great for travelers. When we look at why dining with locals is really a transformative experience for travel, we know that this is coming from something that is related also to sociology. And I will say, in general, what changes here is that in our experience, we let customer discover things in a very, very different way. So I shared here some of the reviews of our customer that are not only mentioning in their reviews that the food was delicious, of course, but they are telling us that they felt welcomed, and they were also guided by our host. So it's really a mix of welcoming someone and giving them some true understanding of the culture. So I think my favorite one is the one of the traditional Roman feast in Trastevere, where these customers are just saying that by the end of the evening, they felt like they were great friends with our host. So traveling, when you are actually connecting with people, you're discovering places in a very different way. And that's really like, I mean, I think we all feel the difference when you are just in an empty place or in a restaurant that can be rather cold, and it really changes when you are using that opportunity to meet other people. And why? Of course, because you are really, in this case, living something that you choose to live from the time, like from the moment that you will be proposing to your customer an Eatwith experience. They are going to have a different expectation than the one that they are meant to have in a restaurant. It's something that a lot of people are living like a discovery. They are entering into a different territory in this case. So while at the beginning there is this feeling of not knowing what is going to happen, then at some point you start to really feel something new and to become part of it. So literally, like the customer that will say that at the end of the evening they were friends with our host. And that becomes also an identity. So we have several customers that are repeaters actually in our sector. When you have experienced an Eatwith experience in Barcelona, for example, when you're traveling to Paris, then you probably want to do that again, because this brings something new to your trip. But on the other end is it's something that you have already done and that really belongs to you and your way of traveling. So yes, from curiosity to discovery, but also exclusivity, there we have something that is completely different from going to a restaurant or having any other kind of culinary experience. That's something that is exclusively for you and other people that will be there with you. That can be people that you don't know, or it can be your group, because all our experiences are also privatizable if you want to really feel in this safe and cozy environment. And of course, the proximity, which of course can be different from culture, it's also something that can really be transformative, of course, because you're going to actually share something that is normally difficult to share when you are traveling. It's difficult to enter other people's place. And in general, so with regards to our coverage, what we are proposing, we have unique culinary adventure, we call them. So we can move from private dining to food tour and cooking classes. And of course, what we're going to also share with you today is everything that was prepared for the end of the year festivities, in case you have some customers that will be traveling around the world and would like to discover one of our events and then do something really different, for example, at Christmas or New Year's Eve. In numbers, we have 25,000 hosts and we cover 130 countries. I think this is also really interesting for you to know that we have a quite high coverage and are present in pretty much all the continents. And with regards to our experiences, of course, we have dining experience. That's the classic experience, like the one that you have seen with our host Pratap in London, the Feast of Maharaja. So you are actually going there and having dinner. Again, this can be privatized for your group, or you can just go and join other people on an open event. So what we call an open event can be for from one single booking to 2 or 3 people joining a dinner with more people. Can be a dinner or a brunch, of course, or just lunch. Food tour that are also very popular among tourists, especially now with the pandemic, for those that would like actually to be in an open space. That can be also a very interesting one. And we do have different kind of food tours. Of course, it's not the classical one. And what will make the difference here as well is that our host personality. So we're not going to do like the classical tour, for example, of the Boqueria market, but this is going to be really a storytelling and a mix of a guide, which is our host, and the places where they're going to bring them. For example, we have an excellent food tour in Palermo that is really well known with one of our hosts, who is Fulvio, who has actually this great personality and is really bringing people into the true Sicilian culture. And cooking classes, which are also very popular because there you have the great sensation of going into a new place and bringing something with you, which is the recipe, but which is also, and this is very strong in our host, the relationship with the host. Normally our host, for example, one of our hosts, Sandra in Rome, she still keeps contact with all the people that went to her cooking class and maybe still giving them some suggestion or recommendation. So our hosts are very inclined to keep that relationship with people who join their event. And then we have also a product that we developed during the pandemic, which is the online cooking classes. They are still ongoing because they were very popular actually. And they were very popular also among travel agents because this was a great way to connect travelers who were not able to travel to a destination and then just organize a group for them to cook together. Sometimes it can be also a good teaser before going to a place, I think 1 hour with a host, and then maybe they will meet the host in person in one of our other experiences. So it's something that you can keep an eye on while preparing maybe for a larger trip. Important to, so now we're going to enter more into what is our festive events. Well, we started with an event in Rome, which is really like Christmas in a true Italian family, but I will say a very alternative one somehow, because you're entering in this Trastevere home. So I don't know if you ever been in Rome, but it's really like one of the ancient part of Rome that is typical and absolutely. In general, you don't enter into a home in Trastevere, you will go to a restaurant. In this case, you're in the center of Rome and discovering this house of Federica and Barbara. By the way, the review that we read before was really about Federica and Barbara, and they organized this Christmas event that, of course, is not only on Christmas Eve, but is available during the festive time. And this is also accompanied normally with music and gifts, and of course with the most important thing, which is our hosts who are really there to well, to guide people. So we already received several reservations for this one, and I encourage any one of you as customer traveling to Italy to discover that a little bit more. A different kind of event, but we stay in Europe, is in Paris. This is one of our sold out event in general with our chef Jean-Yves. Is a MasterChef winner of 2012, and from there, actually from that time, is with us as an host, proposing very, very fine cuisine. It's actually wonderful what it does. I didn't have the chance to try yet, but it's one of our most sold events, and is actually inviting people to a very special truffle 4-course menu prepared by him in one of the most incredible part of Paris, which is Le Marais. Of course, here we keep the communal dining concept, but during the festive time, your travelers can also book this event for a very special occasion for a few people. Like I said, for all of them, we can definitely privatize. And of course, I would really love to go there during the end of the year if possible. So maybe I'll meet some of your customers there. And here it's something a little bit different. So we are in London now, and we are with the ingredientist. That's a different concept because here people can just go and they can choose their ingredients and then mix them, and this is a different dining concept. So actually you will have the freedom, your customer will have the freedom to change the menu according to what they like, according to the ingredients that they choose with our chef, so it's Chef Ricky in this case. And for those of you who have customers traveling to New York, so this is one of our best events ever in general, not only during the festive season, and it's one of our hosts. We're actually preparing Japanese fusion. I think really for the people who have been there, this has been a very, very nice experience in terms of food, but also for the location, of course, because you will be in Brooklyn in a private party. And what also makes the difference of a lot of our hosts are artists in general, and not only when cooking, but also in their own life. So for example, I is a visual artist. So whenever you are entering this place, you are also entering into the life of this host, who will share with you also everything about her art in this case, and the way of dealing with visual art. So these are 4 of the experiences that we are proposing and promoting, but of course we do have different experiences available. For example, in Mexico, in Europe, we have very high coverage, and also in Asia. And of course, we do have our normal experiences available, which, as I meant, can vary a lot according to what your customers are looking for, their age, their needs, and if they want to have rather a more high-level culinary experience, or if they just want to get in touch a little bit more with the host, if they prefer to have, for example, a very artistic or creative host. So we can adapt and adjust to the customer needs in this sense. Of course, always important to mention, we do have guidelines that are very strong recommendation on everything that is related to COVID restriction in terms of gatherings, in terms of social distancing, face covering. So in general, they are really, our hosts are really sticking to the local regulation and to our standards. So there's no risk, and since the pandemic, we didn't have any any problems so far with this, because we really anticipated on this and trained our hosts to get like to the higher standard of safety as possible. Here is like a small word about the online experiences that you can still book. There is a landing page that is really dedicated to everything that is online experiences, and all these hosts are based all around the world, but are very flexible with the time zone. So for example, Sandra, who is in the first picture, has delivered cooking classes at 2 a.m. In CET time with up to 100 customers. So they are, and still with the same level of energy. So they are absolutely flexible and available for your travelers. Again, we really want to tell that all this can be privatized, but also customized with your customers, so we can add anything that they would like to have in terms of experiences. So it can go from the bottle of wine to having, for example, something more related to music or any special surprise that they might want to have. What's in for travel agents there? Of course, you can have your own Eatwith account. And for those of you who don't have an account yet, we can definitely create one. You can get 10% commission for our online experiences reservation and 8% for in-person reservation. Of course, for those of you, like for the first 100 of you who register for the webinar, you will get 10% on your next booking. Sorry for this. And we do have an affiliation program available. So you can create your own link with us that can be shared with your customers. And when they're doing booking, then you do receive the same amount of commission, which is paid monthly. Our support team, which is actually my team, is available also for recommendation and to reply to any question that you might have, or also for the organization of a specific tour. So these are the most important information that I wanted to share. And if you have any question, I see, yes, I see a couple of them. And I thank you so much. So from now, I'm going to reply to these questions that are now in the chat, and I'm going to reply to all of the other questions that you might have. Thank you so much for your participation. So the hosts, are the hosts actually chef or home cooks? We have both. So we do have a high level of professional Michelin trained chef. So for example, Pratat, that you've seen in the first video, and Jean-Yves in Paris are Michelin trained chefs. So it's really a high level of cuisine, but you can also have home cooks. For example, we have a huge amount of hosts in Greece that are actually in Greece or in Italy that are really like home cook and sharing their own recipe. Did a food walking tour with Eatwith in Rome a couple of years ago. That is hands down the best tour of any kind I've ever done. Thank you so much to Ollie. I can recommend actually our food walk tour. Okay, for Sally. So do you have a co-branded website so our clients can see what you offer, but their request comes to us directly? We do have an affiliation link that you can share with your customers. So when they will look at our website and they book, you can get the commission directly. For yes, I can send it. So I can send the link to the affiliation program via email to you, and it works like that. You send us your coordinate, the information about your travel agents, and also maybe the destination that you're selling the more, so that we can create, for example, a landing page to our events in Italy, and then you just share the link on the right search page for your customers. So I can follow up via email with how to create an affiliation link if you want. Good. Are you in Thailand? Yes, we do have experiences in Thailand and Cambodia. So I can share with you, for example, our host Raquel in our, so she's done, it's this one. Here you go. So our host Raquel, she's actually based in Thailand. She's delivering online cooking classes and of course also in-person cooking classes right now. So you can find her on Eatwith Thailand. Nice. And do you have any other question? Maybe. We do have time, so. Okay, is the affiliate program the same as signing up as a travel agent on your site? No, actually, you should sign up as a travel agent on our site, and then we can create an affiliation link. Is culture tied in with all the dining experience? Yes, in the most of them actually. So culture in a large sense is always covered. Of course, some experiences are really like done by artist or writer or food writer, but we always do have local culture and immersion into local culture into our experiences. With the affiliate link, do we have a way to see if clients are going to the link? Yeah, we can share with you a report on how customers are using the link. Also, because we are very we are very careful of that the link is used, and we really want to promote them. So we can share some reports with you. We do have insurance for coverage for guests, so that's really covered. It's important in our concept to have coverage for anything that could happen during the events. And some of our hosts do have as well their own insurance, so we're double covered normally. Okay, so for Carrie, I've been trying to register as an agent, but the website is not going anywhere. I'm okay. I can definitely check what's going on. Normally it was working, Carrie, to register as a travel agent, but you can either send me a screenshot or we can get in touch after the call so that we check what's going on. Normally it should be working correctly. And for Adrienne, yes, I'll be happy to set up a one-to-one meeting with you. That would be perfect. Amazing. Thank you. Does anyone else have any other question on the event as well, or anything else that comes to your mind? Yes, Sally was asking about the affiliate program. So I can definitely reshare with you how to create your affiliate program, and then we can be also directly in touch to we can be in touch to make sure that you have everything that you need for the affiliation program. It's something also that we didn't have before and that travel agent asked us to have, so we did create it this year. We choose our host, so normally we are, it's according, the way we choose our host is really according to the market as well. And in general, what we do is that we are recruiting them according to their quality of cooking and the quality of the experience. The most of them are submitting actually their experience to us, and we review it and see like if it's really relevant. The most important part for us is not only about the experience, as you might know right now, but it's about the host personality and how they're going to fit into the Eatwith concept. Because of course we don't want to have like cold people that would be like just staying in the kitchen. That's not the concept. So we really want people that are there, like present and wants to share, or that want to share. Do you have other questions? Okay, thank you so much, Carrie. And I'm going to follow up via email with all of you. If you don't have any other question, so I just would like to ask you, first of all, if you would like to join our LinkedIn page, because we're going to continue to have this kind of webinar. And also we want to post as much as possible information that are useful for travel agents. For example, an event that can be very good to promote for tourism. And maybe also, you know, any incentive that we would like to have for travel agents to increase commission. And we're going to use our LinkedIn as much as possible to communicate about that. So if you could join the Eatwith for travel agents community, that would be great. And I would be more than happy to be connected with you. I will be sharing with you these presentations with the link to the experiences that we are promoting, and also with the link where you can give us feedback about how to improve this presentation, but maybe also what you would like to see, what could be of your interest for the next webinar, as we would like to have a pace of one free webinar per month, only dedicated to travel agents. So your feedback is highly appreciated. And of course, in that email, there will be everything that you need to know about the affiliation program so that we can use that tool as much as possible. Great. So thank you again for joining, and I hope you will have a nice afternoon and that we can, you know, have like reply to any of your question and stay in touch for any specific organization of like the best for your customer. Thank you so much for joining, and join us on LinkedIn. That would be great, so we can really connect in an easier, more interactive way. Amazing. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.